Okay. Okay, and we're back on track. So that's the whole practice, and you followed the course by yourself. You looked up on the internet, of it was just all Tim Post's workshop. You followed on the internet.
Yep, just followed on the internet. He gives personal feedback too, which I really liked. I emailed
Yeah,
him a
really.
couple times with dream scenarios that had occurred and asked his opinion, and he gave some good feedback about that. Um,
Yeah, he also follows individually.
yeah.
So, and how often do you have a lucid dream? Is it like every day, or you choose like?
I don't have them every day. I'm currently going through a dry spell with journaling, but I had one this morning.
Yeah.
Um, so it's sporadic. I have a few per month right
Yeah.
now, and then I'm confident that if I just picked up my journal, I'd have one tomorrow. The journaling is very powerful.
Yeah, and they're all the same, or you just like you
Oh
say,
no, they're all
yeah,
radically different.
yeah. So,
um,
what's the theme of your most dreams? Like, in what
okay,
direction do you want like your most dreams are?
that's a good question. You know, when I first started doing this, it's very um, the idea of having this immersive hallucinatory experience is it's almost cinematic, like you're in a movie or something, and you
It's
think that you're
real.
gonna like be a superhero or something, and explore your power within the dream. And so a lot of my earlier lucid dreams were about exploring that power, like flying or making things move around or building worlds. Um, but I've found that I'm more curious about the subconscious now. And a lot of my dreams are about questioning the subconscious. And I practice questions that I want to ask. Like one time I asked to experience unconditional love in a dream. And so I had a really bizarre experience within the dream. And one time I said, I want to feel my power. And I did like that with my hands. And the whole landscape just went, and
Really?
it was like, you realize it could teach you a lot about the ways that the subconscious works. Everything in the dream is you,
Yeah.
so you do have a lot of power, but sometimes that hallucinatory experience takes over and you feel like you're just a character within it. So a lot of the work of getting lucid is recognizing that everything here is me.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? And I get curious about what is the subconscious doing. I like to have conversations with the subconscious and see where it takes me. Um, So I would say generally my dreams tend toward inquiry, but they're always very surprising in what returns. So one time I said, "Take me where I need to be," and the dream plunged me into the ocean, and I was a shark, and I could feel like the strong, aquatic body that had a lot of power. So that was quite unexpected, but it arises from inquiry.
So if you have to put a number on it on a scale from 0 to 10, how realistic is a lucid dream comparing to your real life?
It's an 11. It's
An
real.
11.
You know, you're. I, I've thought a lot about this because when you're doing a lucid practice, it's a lot like meditation where you're contemplating what is reality.
Yeah.
And of course, it's all mediated through our brains. So your waking life is, in some sense, a hallucinatory experience, but it just happens to be a shared one. It's a shared reality, and you can, confirm that by chatting with people or
Yeah.
whatever. But in your dreaming reality, it's still real. It's just that it's internal. It's idiosyncratic to you. So it's a deeply hallucinatory experience. You feel the feelings, the weight of your body, or um, smells, sights, sounds, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all deeply convincing.
Whoa, it's crazy. And yeah, that is a crazy, crazy story. So, and how do you get into a lucid dream? I think you told me already about your watch. So,
So there are a lot of ways to do it. Yeah, so what I found that is if I do those reality checks throughout the day, whether it's with my watch or if I'm just asking myself, am I dreaming? I tend to become lucid more often, but it's not, ironically, it doesn't happen like that I'm looking at my watch in a dream. That's actually only happened a few times. Um, but if I do the reality checks, I get lucid more often. But what usually happens is that I'll be dreaming and something will just strike me as odd, and I'll say, oh, I think maybe this is a dream. And I will do a reality check within the dream and confirm it. Or sometimes it's just so obvious that it's a dream that I actually don't even bother with the reality check. Like this morning, I sat up in bed, I looked out my window, and I saw a vast Arctic landscape and two polar bears right at my window. So I knew immediately, like, okay, I'm dreaming. Um, and then there was a dog in my room, and I had a conversation with the dog, and so it's kind of a low level of lucidity because I hadn't been practicing a dream goal, so I
yeah,
didn't accomplish anything major, but it was still, a trippy experience.
yeah. So,
So that's how it usually happens: is that I'm dreaming and I just realize something is kind of off about this reality. And that's part of the practice, is just that you continually question reality so that it becomes a habit in your mind. Um, but specifically, if you want to have a lucid dream, the very easiest way is to do the wake back to bed technique, which is, if you're familiar with the way dreams work, I mean, the powerful hallucinatory experience type dreams that we've all had where, just something crazy happens. Those happen during REM, the REM
yeah,
stage of sleep. And when you're sleeping, you have several REM stages, and then they get longer as the night progresses. So right before you wake up is your longest one. So if you wake yourself up early, like an hour before you normally would wake up, and then say to yourself as you fall back asleep, the next thing I see will be a dream, you're likely to become lucid. It happens all the time. It happened to me this morning. I woke up with my cats, and they woke me up too early, as
yeah.
always. And then, as I was going back to sleep, I just said to myself, the next thing I see will be a dream. And that's when I sat up in bed and saw the polar bears.
Whoa.
So I kind of just primed my brain to be aware.
Yeah. So, but aren't you like scared that it would give you any side effects, like I don't know, psychological side effects, or like you don't know if you're dreaming or it's just reality? You're not scared about that?
No, because I understand that there are people who get scared. I think that that has more to do with their own psychology than with the practice of lucid dreaming. I think when you recognize that everything here is me in a dream, then to me that's not scary because I'm not afraid of myself. I have a good relationship with myself and my inner world. But no, I don't worry about not knowing if I'm dreaming because inquiry always works. If you continually ask, is this a dream? And it's strange. So there have been times